Sheldon, do you want to take over?
Yeah.
I did, Derek, you were starting to talk about some of the tensions with your co-founders, but maybe, if Charles can take us through the tougher parts.
Yeah, that's where I thought I would pick up if you hadn't already gotten there, which is, kind of revisiting some of those moments where you clearly have a direction in terms of commercializing and looking at a business plan, getting investors. So trying to drive this in the direction that some of the folks that you're collaborating with want to go with UBP. But where does that start to fall apart in terms of tensions with your collaborators and ideas about what the next step should be, what this shouldn't be, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I don't know if I told you this when we were talking before, man, but we fell apart at our organization meeting, like our official corporate organizing meeting. And it was a very simple fissure. It just revealed, hey, there's already some cracks here, but those cracks were around roles and respect for those roles. I was telling Mark earlier, when you're part of something that's driven by technology, the technologists kind of see themselves as not part of the whole, but maybe the whole of the whole, and this going out and speaking to people, presenting and connecting, that none of that stuff is that important. So I think that kind of created some natural tension between my role as the non-technologist in the group, certainly the technology advocate and maybe the jack of all trades, but not the expert, definitely not the coder. Once we started having conversations about who was doing what, it became clear there's not a lot of respect for any of the roles that other people are doing, except for the only roles you have respect for are the roles that you are performing. And that's not how teams work. That's not how teams win. That's how teams lose, and lose precipitously when we don't respect the other fingers on the hand. That showed up at our organizational meeting, and that resulted in the resignation of one of our directors. One of the directors we had recruited resigned after the meeting because he saw that we couldn't get along. Saw it and said it.
Yep. So the fissures that came bigger and bigger.
Yep.
What year was that when that started to surface?
Yeah, the organizational meeting was mid-1996. It would have been right after we presented the company for the first time to Georgia Tech's Business Incubator, the Advanced Technology Development Center. Yeah, and I told Mark a little while ago that the director at the time, Dwight Holter, pulled me aside after our presentation and basically said, I'm not sure you guys are going to make it. Now, he didn't go into all the reasons why, but he kind of whispered to me, hey, this is what it takes to make a company work. You're building this stool. You got 4 legs on the stool. First leg is management, man. And the management is the first leg because we're looking at how you guys get along, how you guys know and walk in your roles and the authority that comes with those roles, and how you respect each other's roles. See, we see all of that in the way you guys present to us. We notice you're doing all the talking. This is him telling me that you're doing all the talking, and that the other guys may not necessarily like that you're doing all the talking, but they don't want to do all the talking. We see stuff like that. I said, okay.
Yep.
And he said, if this doesn't work, call me. Now, I told Mark that was the last time I talked to Dwight Holter. He was gone from ATDC like a few days after that, but I was glad we had that one conversation because I went back to his successor and said, hey, things didn't work out with our company. Is there anything you guys can have me do here? And they said, what are you good at? And I tell them I'm good at databases. So they allow me to use Lotus Notes to build formal databases for all of their affinity groups, including venture capitalists. So I said, oh, so I'm going from knowing absolutely no venture capitalists to now I at least know who all the venture capitalists are that fellowship with ATDC. Now that doesn't mean they're going to talk to me, but at least I know who they are, so I can holler at them and see if they might talk to me.
Right.
Yeah, so that became a significant experience that grew out of what was some heartbreak and some hardship, where we all kind of broke up and went our separate ways.
Mm-hmm.